Hey everyone, it is Danielle Marie from the One Realty here in Austin, Texas. Today, I'm going to tell you, do not, as a seller, counter an offer. Now, I know a lot of people out there, especially agents and maybe sellers in before, are saying, why would I not counter an offer? Well, here's why. When you counter your offer, you actually give up some of your, I say, freedom with the offer. So in Texas, if you counter an offer, you receive an offer. Sellers, this is great. You've received an offer. Your hard work is paid off, from your staging to your listing to your photos to strategic pricing. All of that goes into it. You've got the offer and you're like, yes, let's counter immediately. Here's the thing, is when you counter in Texas, especially if it's a written counter, number one, you've rejected the original offer. So the offer is no longer on the table. Once you counter in Texas, that first offer is completely off the table. Second, once you've countered in Texas and you've gone out back to the original buyer and you kind of said, hey, here's what we want, here's our terms. Instead, that's the only person that you really are negotiating back and forth with. Now, could you get another offer in and could you counter that offer? Yes, but if that buyer accepts your counter, that first one, and let's say you countered another one, you have two accepted contracts out there. So instead, we're going to do something else. Instead, in Texas, we have a form called a seller's invitation to buyer to submit a new offer. And I'll pull it up in a second. So number one, what this form does is this form it's not a rejection of the first offer. It's just saying, hey, we're not accepting it currently at its current terms. Number two, what it does is the seller can then go out and lay out all of the proposed terms that they would likely to accept. So they can say maybe it's a price, maybe it's closing dates, maybe it's the type of loan, the loan amount. Heck, maybe it's your grandmother's curtains that you want to make sure that you take with you, because curtains attached to the walls convey with the property in Texas. So make sure to get your grandma's curtains and take them with you if you want them. But with that being said, there's a form. It's a seller's invitation to buyer to submit a new offer. Now, when you send this form back, it's official form. It's going to be signed by you as the seller, and your agent's going to have it. Your agent should have it. So if your agent has never talked to you about this and you're selling your home, ask them about this. What you're going to do, you're going to receive that first offer. You're going to respond back and say, hey, here are our proposed, here's what we would be more than likely to accept. It's not pigeonholing you and making you accept it because, hey, rates just went down. What if you get another offer that comes in? If you get another offer that comes in and you've just countered, now all of a sudden, if they accept that counter and you have a higher, better offer, you're legally stuck. You've committed to that other individual. So by giving them those proposed terms and the seller's invitation to resubmit the offer, when they come back with another offer, you can still negotiate with someone else as well. If you get a higher, like let's say you just get your dream offer comes in after you send out that first seller's invitation to resubmit, you get your dream offer that comes in, you don't have to make that dream offer wait. You can accept immediately. So it keeps you stay in control as a seller. So for my sellers, I'm very, very big on this because at the end of the day, even in a multiple offer situation, countering pigeonholes you because you don't want to have two offers accepted. Instead, you can say, here are the terms that we would submit. So I'm going to show you this form right now real quick. That way you can take a look at it. And at the same time, you can kind of bring that up. So if you have an agent, bring it up and just say, hey, what about my seller's invitation to resubmit an offer? So here's what the form looks like right here. What you're going to see, you're also going to see down here. So number one, it's saying that this does not accept the above reference offers, that original offer. Here are all the terms that you would consider favorably. It doesn't say you'll accept. It says you will consider favorably. And then this right here is the most important thing. This communication invitation is not a counter offer. The property remains on the market and seller may consider other offers and accept another offer. So with that being said, I'm going to stop that share. What this is also important is in today's market as a seller, we obviously are selling under a list price in some situations. Sometimes it's taking longer to sell your house. What you don't want to do as a seller is also ignore that buyer. So you do have the opportunity as a seller, as long as your agent has presented you the offer, you don't have to respond. There's no legal requirement to respond. But let's say you do want to negotiate with this individual and you do want to get them in conversation, kind of want to get that ball rolling. If you leave them there because you think you might have another offer coming in, you might make them go look for another house. And I have had this. I know a client who actually went, thanks, Rudy, who actually went and said, okay, great. You're not negotiating back with me. You're waiting for an offer. We're going to go put an offer on another house. So we rescinded our offer. And then we went as buyers and put an offer on another house that got accepted. Now, granted, it was a little bit better of a house. So that was a win-win for my clients, but you do not want to delay the client. So also if you're an agent, so I have a seller, I have an offer that came in from a buyer. I want to respond, but I know agent 2 showed the house yesterday. I think they might put an offer in. What I'm going to let them know is I'm going to let agent 2 know, hey, we have an offer that came in. We're not in the process of accepting any offer. We're proposing new terms, but I just want to let you know that if you're serious, to get back to us. So what we can do with that offer 1, instead of waiting for that offer 2 to come in, we're going to propose these new terms back to that buyer. And we'll say, here's our seller's invitation for new terms. And then at the same time, we're going to allow that offer 2 to kind of maybe come in. If that offer 2 comes in, remember, this was not a counter. We're going to let first buyer know, hey, unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, we have received another offer. At this point in time, we are going to call for perhaps highest and best offer, or we received another offer and I think we're going to accept it. You can do that with the seller's invitation for buyer to resubmit. If you counter, you have taken away, unless you rescind the counter. Now, you could rescind, if you receive an offer and you've already countered someone, you need to rescind that offer immediately, because if they accept it, they could just, come back. If it's been written, they can say, hey, they accept the terms, and they could come back. Then you're kind of stuck in a different situation. So with that being said, keep control of your negotiation tactics. Doesn't matter if it's a hot market, if it's a cold market. It could just be a random January day. You could get 2 offers in after you have your first offer. Don't counter. Use a seller's invitation to resubmit. You give them all your favorable terms, and that's the best. So with that being said, I am Danielle Marie from the One Realty. I am in Austin, Texas. We are in our office out here in East Austin. If you have any questions about the Austin real estate market, whether you're looking to find out, hey, what's happening in my market right now in my neighborhood, because there are some neighborhoods that are moving. Maybe there's some other neighborhoods that are smaller and you don't want to overprice it. Feel free to reach out, shoot me a DM. Also, do me a favor, and if you like this, share this information. I'd absolutely love for you to share it. You can also subscribe to on YouTube. I'm trying to do a little bit more of these videos that I think are very beneficial, that I think a lot of people don't necessarily see. We talk about, oh, the market's great, or buyers, everything like that. But I want to give you things that you as a seller can put in your back pocket and you can ask your agents about, because I want to set you up for success. Now, once again, this form is for Texas. So if you're in California, if you're in Michigan, if wherever you are, talk to your agent. Maybe you guys also have a form like that. Sometimes in Texas, we do things a little bit differently. So with that, I hope you all have a wonderful day. And remember, don't counter, do a seller's invitation to resubmit. Have a great day.